G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game today. We play on the map Himeyama, 2 players, both on the Japanese, a little bit of a Japanese mirror for us. And of course, a little bit of water going to be involved early on, different strategies for different folks. Let's get to it. Spawning in the west side of the map in the color pink, playing as the Japanese, we've got Balu. And on the east side of the map in the color blue, playing as the Japanese also, we've got Majestic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Himeyama. Himeyama is a map known for its very open nature with a slight difference, and that is that there's a little bit of water in the middle. I personally love this map, and if you love this map, make sure you go ahead, leave a like on the video. I tell you what, this is probably one of my favorite new maps, because to me, it's just kind of like Dry Arabia with a little bit of water, right? Like, it's nothing too oppressive. It's just a tiny little bit of water. Just a little bit of water. Just get your toes a bit wet. Anyway, we're going to be answering an age-old question today. Often, I throw this question out. One of the things that we see players do is they look early on to go for the dock in the water. Now, this happens on this map. It happens on any map where you see a small amount of fish in a pond like this. So Rocky River could be another example. And one of the questions that I throw out is, if at the end of the day, we're investing our resources into this early dock and we're utilizing it to age up. We age up a little bit slower, and we kind of delay everything else in our build order in the early game, but a slight amount because of that. Is it worth doing when we could just do what we normally do? And the example that I always used to use was Lee Nok. Whenever Lee Nok was playing the Chinese on Mongolian Heights, if you guys will remember that that map, it was basically, imagine this map, but there is a water or a river running along the entire middle of the map, and there are fish that spawn in it. It's not the deep water fish, it's the shore fish, but there's lots of them. And one of the approaches that Lee Nok would use is he would pick the Chinese on that map, and he'd say, I'm not even going to contest the water. I'm just going to play Song Dynasty, 2 TC, sometimes 3 TC, and I'm just going to boom like a madman. And one of the risks that you had on that map is if you did take the water is you delayed your Song Dynasty. You delayed that second town center. So what we're going to see today is going to be a very curious opening. It's going to be Balu on the Japanese going with a water opening. Just a couple of fishing boats out here. You can see he's actually stalled out on the wood gathering up against a player who is going for that second TC. Now, not going to be rushing it like most Japanese players look to do, but we'll still be opting to get it up pretty quickly here. We can see he's still rallying villagers out over onto wood. Not going to be looking to pick up gold, even though it's a relatively close walk for that gold. Instead, just going to be focusing on gathering up that stone already, though, with that Daimyo Manor online. So I'm curious to see exactly how this goes. Now, I will provide a little bit of a caveat in this game that we do have Majestic, who is Conqueror 2. So not quite a Conqueror 3 player, but Balu, he's a pretty decent player. He's not just Conqueror 3, he's Conqueror 3. I'd call him like Conqueror 3 plus plus plus. So quite a bit of a skill difference here between these players. So coming into this, Majestic is definitely the underdog in this game. But nonetheless, there should be a little bit of difference in the strategies from these guys that we will be able to see over time begin to develop. So we'll be looking out to see whether Balu is going to be able to pincer? I don't know if that's the right word, pincer the economy of his opponent, and whether he's going to be able to utilize this early fishing boat economy against his opponent. And already we can see something curious. We can see that the fishing boats have somehow managed to age up faster than the non-fishing boat economy. Now, normally that wouldn't happen, but it's mainly happening because his opponent has opted for something a little bit different this game. And that is that Majestic has kept these villagers on stone all the way up to 350, but remember he spent that 300 stone on the Daimyo Manor. Normally we don't see that 300 stone spent on the Daimyo Manor, so he's basically gathered up an extra 300 stone over where you normally should, and because of that he's pretty delayed in this age up, if I'm honest with you. So it's not that I would say that the build order hasn't been performed correctly, it's just a different style of build order, right? Like there's many different approaches when it comes to the 2 TC Japanese opening, and one of the things that we see is the Koka Township coming up here for Balu. This is a very quick Koka Township. Now, let's see if his opponent spots this out. You can see that it's just on the edge. Unfortunately, hasn't seen it. He's trying to sneak around the backside, so isn't going to see that. He's not going to be aware, and this is going to be disastrous for him, because there's a very good chance that when this Kura storehouse comes up, it's going to spawn a farm that's right on the outside here, and what that's going to do is it's going to mean the town center is not going to be able to reach it, and it's going to naturally mean that your shinobi, wherever he may be, there he is, he's going to come over and he is going to wreak havoc on that side of the map. So we're right on board with Balu as he opts for a little bit of a different approach this game. We do note that he is also with quite a few villagers on gold here. 5 villagers on gold is a bit of an indication that he might be thinking about just going straight to castle. And I gotta be honest, I do kind of like this strategy coming out from him. It makes it simple, utilizes the food very effectively, doesn't go into the second town center, which naturally means he's not delaying that second TC, because that's the big fear that I've got, right? If you go into this water opening, you're delaying that second TC. But have a look at this. This is not going to be good. Normally, this town center should be... Oh, this is going to be terrible. Oh, God, this is going to be terrible. Normally, the town center should be coming up for the Japanese around the 4-minute 55 mark, 5-minute mark. And this one got dropped at 5 minutes 35, which naturally... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, hate to see it. Oh, this is not going to be fun. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, my worst fears are coming out, and we are seeing it in real time developing. You know, we talked about this, the prospect of it, and this is one of the things, right? Like, this is the reality at the end of the day. When you've got a Conqueror 3 player up against a Conq 2 player, it might seem like it's a close match, but the reality is the difference in small little things like whether he goes for the perfect build order or whether he goes for something a little bit different. Oh, the Shin Shun's back in! He tries to get himself, manages to take out the villager on the Shun Shin. 2 vills taken down. Third one comes in. He's looking for blood out here. Look at the vills. Beautiful micro comes out. Will take one of the vills out, though. Manages to cop a fair bit of damage. It's going to be a trade for 3 villagers early on up against this TC. Wow. Okay, Balu coming out of the gates. Absolutely swinging. Now, there are a number of reasons why this has happened. And if we were to break it down, we'd spend a minute doing so. So we're going to do it because we got a minute. Number 1, bad gold spawn, right? Like the really bad gold spawn. Worst possible gold spawn you could get. Shun Shin's in town center. Going to be firing down. Oh, no! Oh, he hits the town center with the extra, with the sabotage. We'll lose the shinobi for it, but I tell you what, he's feeling good right now about himself. That is for oh, wow. Wow. Okay, Balu. This is cheeky. I think Balu's played the Japanese matchup before. He's played the Japanese mirror matchup before. This is kind of wild watching happen in real time. So there's so many factors to consider here, but like number 1 is the gold is at the front. Okay, so it's not a favorable gold spawn. It could be a gold at the back like Balu has got, but it wasn't. And you know, like this is the perfect base for it, right? Because then all of a sudden you put your town center over here or over here, and then you put your Kura storehouse here and it's safe. It's at the back of your base, right? Like, and that's just one of the things that kind of annoys me about Age of Empires. And I know that I say that a lot, but the reality is when you don't have mirrored spawns, it makes it unfair for one player and it makes it imbalanced for the other. And that just feels bad. Anyway, that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is just this pickup, right? Like, whenever I'm teaching people over on Patreon, playing the Japanese, one of the things I always harp on about is if you're going to play 2TC off the stone, do not start. Oh, Shunshin comes in close. Sabotage, throws it. Doesn't get it. Oh, gets denied the sabotage there by the town center. The shotgun, way too strong. But one of the things that I do over on Patreon, which, by the way, make sure you go check out if you would like to improve. There is lots of coaching content over there for free. Some paid content as well if you want to check out that more recent stuff. I say that, look, you don't want to take this stone all the way down. Grab your 350 stone. Heck, even grab 450 stone. That way you've got just enough to age up with the gold. But do not get that early daimyo mana. It is a trap. It is a total trap. You can go into it a little bit later. Nothing stops you from doing that. But just don't get it early. It's really not needed. We don't need to expend those resources that early on. Because when we do that, we delay our age up. And when we do that, we delay our town center. And when we delay our town center, we open ourselves to potential knight attacks, to potential men-at-arm timings, or in this case, to potential shinobi timings. And now behind this, look what we see happening. We see a perfectly positioned floating gate ready to throw its first Yorishiro into the stable. Really nice position here. Oh, excuse me. Really nice position here coming out from Balu. 9 villagers on gold as well, indicating that he is going to be spamming Mounted Samurai all day long here. A really nice opening. Now the question is going to be, okay, I answered my own question. I was going to say, does he go into a second TC here? Because I feel like, you know, you've traded out well with the early villagers, so you're kind of keeping up in that regard. But you don't want to fall behind because, sure, you can guarantee that you take out a couple villagers early on, but you need to kind of keep up with the Kardashians in the regard of villager count. But now we start to see wolves coming out from Majestic. Now, I did say earlier that he had a pretty poor spawn when it came to where his gold was, but one of the things he's had favorably spawned for him are these woodlines, pretty decent woodlines for him, and we see now the Yorishiro, I think, was it the sound? It might have been no, it was the daimyo sound. We see the shinobi. Now, keep in mind, these guys can Shunshin over the walls, close. If they do, though, they are potentially exposing themselves to a little bit of town center fire. So they want to avoid that happening. Now we see that first mounted samurai coming through, and of course his opponent Majestic knew exactly what was happening here with the mounted samurai inevitably and eventually on the way. Stone back in the base. Was that what ran out there? We heard something run out. Could have been villagers. Yeah, villagers on the berries. That's what it was that have run out. They make the exact same sound. Whenever resources are extinguished, you do hear that lovely little sound. Mounted samurai beginning to build up on the front. You can see the significance of walls, right? Like, this is how powerful walls are. And one of the reasons why, whenever I'm coaching, I'm always telling people, get your walls up early, especially if you're up against a knight civilization, or if your opponent goes castle, you know, that's exactly the timing that you want to go for. And you can see he rushed them up. He knew what he was doing. So really well done in that regard. The question's going to be about whether he can survive this threat. Now he's doing the villager! It's going to get shunshined. He gets a couple shinobi through the town center, looking to cop a little bit of fire here. He knows the wall is going to be coming down shortly. And remember, with this outpost, one of the other things he can do is he can potentially sabotage it. Ville's making it to the fore. He needs to keep this wall alive, but now the samurai come through. He's got no other option to shunshin behind here. It looks like the mounted samurai might have to head towards the other side of the map. Looks like we've got relics starting to get picked up slowly. More and more priests coming out. The outpost does come online, and we can see sabotage. Oh, he sabotaged it before it even came on. Oh, it came online. Look at that. And now repairs coming through. Villager count even Stevens at this point. Second town center. Is it online? It is online. Balu manages to keep that second TC timing absolutely perfect here. He's managed to take out 6 villagers so far, and his opponent has not gained any progress towards an eco lead at this stage of the game. On top of that, Balu's picked up relics. He's already got the first Yorishiro ticking, as well as that second one that is inevitably going to be ticking towards those forges. We can see the second one has now come out. He's going to be looking to drop it off with the Shinto priest and we've got more mounted samurai here looking to work out the palisade wall. He's just going to opt for a really big wall. My preference would have just been a small wall like this and then connecting into this, because then that kind of guarantees that you're going to be up. But he will bring a villager out looking for a bit of a repair. He's got to be careful that he doesn't get attacked through the wall. You can see just how close he is, slowly but steadily healing it up. A couple of villagers behind the wall here. He will need to throw a gate down. And a shunshin once again inside. He manages to hit the town center, sabotaged again. He slowly ekes out an eco lead. Villagers, looks like they will repair. Gate coming down. He needs to make sure all of the villagers that are on the inside here are going to be running. Run, little villager. You don't have long, my friend. You're going to go the way of the dodo unless you go now. Unfortunately, he gets us surrounded, and it's another villager down, and the floating gate gets thrown down with the food villagers. Definitely the right call. Not going to be calling the macro police for him here today. Oh, wow. This has been absolute... I mean, this has been a masterclass, right? Like, we are witnessing a Japanese mirror masterclass when it comes to this map. I don't know how often you're playing the Japanese. I don't know how often you're playing this map, but I can tell you right now, if you're playing this map and you're playing the Japanese and your enemy's on the Japanese as well, I've got a pretty good strategy to show you guys right here. This is impressive, to say the least, as that villager does, again, get struck down through the wall, breaking that fourth wall immersion. You guys get it, right? Because it's a wall. We broke the fourth wall. Another shunshin ready from a shinobi. Majestic reaches the castle age. The first of the priests makes its way towards the town center of all the places. Definitely not my #1 choice now for the Yorishiros, just because they're limited, right? And you're going to get value out of this, but realistically, it's only going to be for a set amount of time. I guess the argument is always going to be that if you can get really good value out of it in the short term, maybe it can be worth it in the long term, because maybe you don't survive. Oh, he switches. Look at that. He switched to a villager. Very, very cool. Breaks through on that wall. Villager. Look how many vills he's lost already this game. It's 11 so far. That's going to be the 12th villager that will go down here. And now that villager lead's starting to go in favor of Balu. Keep in mind, he does have fishing boats out here, but he's going to be getting rid of them very soon. So he will be losing 3 vills out here as he works now to come on through to the base. Spear's going to be coming through. Veterancy as well. A bannerman going to be coming out. Not a whole lot to defend. He's also moving into veterancy on those spearmen. But I tell you what, I reckon he probably could have afforded to go a couple more spearmen before he went for veterancy. But this isn't too bad on the defense. Majestic in trouble. It feels like he is getting absolutely run over. We are really seeing a Japanese masterclass from Balu as those relics now getting picked up. He's taken 5 off this map. Incredible performance. Barracks getting thrown down. Double TC. Absolutely making sure he has got insurance policies in every single regard. More shinobi come over the wall. He's thrown in on top of this. Look at this. Creating the Yorishiro, but the building sabotaged. It still creates the Yorishiro. Look at this. Just when you thought that everything was fine, Turns out it wasn't. Number of samurai out here, non-existent. It's only going to be spearmen for him for the moment. On the other side of the map, expect to see samurai coming through shortly for Baloo. Slowly but steadily. Oh, keep in mind there could be trouble here. The floating gate. Don't tell me. Please tell me it's got a rally point. Indeed it does. The top side is where it's going to be coming through, and he times it perfectly. Needs to move these spears forward, but it's trouble in paradise. Oh, he's managed to stall it out, but no, it pops out at the last second. Expect to see him vanquish in a heartbeat here as the mounted samurai look to continue fighting. Is he trying to bait them out? A single mounted samurai turns towards the Shinto priest, is running towards the stone. He wants to get it in onto the forge. He manages to survive, and now on top of that, spearmen continue rallying towards this front. He's holding a little bit longer. Villager's going to start working it down. Unable to take any of them out. One of them does get struck in the ore of the fight. I don't know if the ore in the heat of the moment, maybe a little bit better. In the heat of the battle, a little bit better. That's definitely the angle that we want to be working. But now it looks like more barracks going to get thrown down. No, he changes his mind. He says, we're going to make it barracks. We're just going to put them down a little bit closer to the back here. Definitely the right call for him. And Baloo, have a look at this behind it. Baloo's just casually going to Imperial Age. Don't mind me, mate. That's what he says. He says, look, I've been keeping you busy for the last 16 minutes, making you run around in circles. I've had Shinobi. I've had absolutely just countless units in your base causing you trouble, and I've kept you down. I have put you in the ground with my boot on top, and now we start to see more Yorishiro coming out, but have a look at this. It's not feeling good, is it, for Majestic at this stage of the game? You know, the worst part is as soon as Imperial Age comes through, you know what it's going to be. It's going to be Samurai, right? Like, you just go Elite Samurai, and there's realistically nothing you can do. Elite Samurai just destroy everything. I mean, sure, you've technically got the Onabusha? I want to say Onabusha? Onamusha, that you could do, but it's going to require a very big transition, and you've already got 6 Raxes up here. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see how it works for him, though, as the age up comes through. Tanagashima Gunsmith, thrown down in the back of the base. Odachi also coming through for him. 1,200 gold in the bank. You know what that's going to be. It's going to be your Elite Samurai. It's probably going to be the Oda Tactics. It's not Elite Army Tactics. It's Oda Tactics here for the Japanese. It's unique, but I don't think it's any different from the Elite Army Tactics. Up towards that north side. Looks like the Sacred Site will be held in favor of Majestic for a little bit longer. All right. And the age up comes through. And with that now, he unlocks access to the Ozutsu and elite units. Slowly but steadily, he has eked a lead out and has given us a great insight as to the primary strategy you can be looking for against the Japanese, maybe as the Japanese. Definitely 2 different ways you can be looking at it. Second Yorishiro online. He should have the third one out. Let's see if we can spot it. There's the second one in the TC. Third one. You don't see it just yet. Has he got it somewhere in the back of the base, maybe? I don't see it. Oh, he's still holding it. That's why I don't see it. Still, there it is. The forge is down. And now beginning to move out. He's got plenty of spears on the map to deal with the cavalry from his opponent. But have a look at this. The veteran samurai are coming through. There's the elite upgrade now coming in. He's looking to pick up the melee attack. Ranged armor. Why not? You're getting them all. May as well treat them like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. And now behind this, where are they? Where are they? We don't see any Ozutsu on the map just yet. He's got Shinobi out as well somewhere. I think they're probably down on the south. Indeed, they are. And look at this. The spearmen pushing up against the elite samurai. They're like, hey, come on, we'll fight you. Oh, what was that? What, where did that... Oh, the town center. Oh, he's got the big boy town center in as well. The Shogunate Castle's online. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for Majestic, he finds out the hard way that his opponent has not only gone to Imperial Age, he's gotten the big boy town center. And have a look at this. Randy is on the field, looking to help out a little bit against the infantry samurai, slowly but steadily crushing out the Onabagashira, as well as he's got everything here. More units continue to rally through. The pink samurai on the way on the hill down. Shinto priest looking to heal up the front. More and more Onabagashira coming through. A couple of spearmen. Why the hell not? Where's Randy? Where's Randy? There's Randy! The Japanese Randy Orton is coming through. I'm trying to think of like a Japanese fighter. Oh, I remember. Is it Leota Machida? Leota Machida, aka Randy. He's coming down. God, that's a name from How many of you guys know Lyoto Machida? If you know Lyoto Machida, you got to leave a like on the video, leave a comment. Let me know Lyoto Machida. He lives on. The legacy of Lyoto Machida. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. I'm pretty sure that was his name. I used to watch UFC back when I was younger, back when I was like 18, 19. Lyoto Machida had a deadly kick. My lord, this guy could roundhouse kick he could roundhouse kick a cow and chop it up with his foot. It was incredible watching him fight. And then I think he got knocked out like once in a fight and then just never fought again. But speaking of knocked out, these poor villagers. Oh, they're about to get knocked out. Look at him slowly trying to scram to get this wall up. He's not even going to need a sieger down as the samurai just make their way through and go, oh, a nice little opening for me. Don't mind if I do. Now making their way through. Majestic yet to even go anywhere near that Imperial Age. Tithe Barns coming through for Baloo. Keep in mind he has 5, count them, 5 relics, all with Tithe Barns. Randy now making its way through. Lyoto now making his way through. Behind the scenes, we see a little bit of a counterattack to Honor Bageisha trying to find a way through. He's looking to distract the opponent. 3 of the Yoroshiros are down in the forges. 1 of them in the stable. Still needs to delete it. Bageisha. And nowhere to be seen on this front line, though. That's going to be the one factor that changes things. And now over the top of the walls, the Shinobi make their way through. Never mind, he went through the wall. And slowly but steadily, 3 TCs for our Japanese player. Okay, don't mind if I do. He knew that he had to throw a Hail Mary to get back into this game. The problem's going to be that Baloo was ready there. He was in position to catch it. And unfortunately, it looks like he's going to get eaten alive here as that second TC is down. No way to engage against this Rebaldequin. Needs to get a Springald out, but even if you get a Springald out, you're going to have trouble. And look at the Rebaldequin. He's like, oh, you want to siege me down? Come for it, baby. I invite you. And Randy, off the top rope, do it to him, Randy. Give him the 1-2, Randy. I know you want to do it. Randy, wake up, Randy. Here he goes. Randy. Oh, no, he sits them all down. The villager count drops in the heartbeat. Villagers versus Lyoto Machida, a.k.a. Randy Orton, and they get RKO'd from the top rope. Oh, my lord. What a beautiful way to finish off this game. Something I never thought I'd see. Rebaldequin, their torch is still on the ground. Unfortunate, and the game gets called. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my lord, we may have just seen a Japanese masterclass. What an absolute performance coming out from Baloo there. Fellas, thank you so much for watching. Make sure, if you haven't already, leave a like on the video down below, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.